Hello one and all, this is James, mypeexam.org, and what I want to do here, we're sort of building on the last session where I talked about taking tutorials and the process of that. I'm just going to take my tutorial now through to 80% or over 80% here. You might be able to hear it in the background. And you see that as 80% of the video is completed, I get a choice here. You have now studied more than 80% of this tutorial. Do you feel you have understood everything about this topic? Now I can hit yes, and if I do that, this topic will be marked off as mastered. I want to be clear here, we're not encouraging you to miss 20% of the video. We encourage you to watch 100%. It's just that we accept that sometimes 80% might be enough. There might be a slow start to the video, a slower end to the video. You may already have studied some of this before, and so on. So I can click yes, and that will now mean that this is mastered for me, and you can see here, time to move on. If I hit no, and I can change this at any time by the way, and it will unmask the topic for me. If I hit no here, what that means is that I'm indicating to my teacher that I'm struggling. Now again, that's not a bad thing, I'm just highlighting I might need some support on this topic, but I'm going to say I've mastered this thing and I'm in there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move on to the next activity, which in this case is the quiz. So I've mastered the video, I've taken 80%, I've agreed that I have understood, and now I'm going to start the quiz. So a couple of things I'd like you to be aware of about the quiz. First of all, note this here, 6 consecutive, and I might even add the word perfect, correct answers to pass. So when I do this quiz, I need to get 6 perfect answers to pass it. So let's have a little look at that. So we've got something here. Complete the gap fill exercise by using the terms below to accurately describe the double loop circulation network. So straight from the video is our knowledge. Here are my key terms. I can start adding them. Okay, so the blood that travels from the heart and to the lung does so within the something circuit. Okay, so it's from the heart to the lung, so we know, if I spell it correctly, that that's pulmonary. Okay, so I could now go on and fill in all my answers as I go through, and I need to get that just correct, but I'm not going to sort of get them all right now. I'm going to move on. If I made a single error in that question, we would have to ultimately repeat this quiz again. Okay, so we are looking for perfect answers for you. Now you might say to me, James, that's a little bit harsh. Look, our view on this is as follows. If we give you this worksheet and we say to you, if I give you this task in the form of a worksheet and I say to you, you've got 5 minutes to complete this, it must be perfect. You're right, it's not fair. Some people would need to take longer. Some people would need to take less time. But in this case, we're saying to you, you must perfect it, but you do it as many times as you need to, repeat it as often as you want, and therefore it becomes fair. But it is a matter of being accurate and specific, and that, by the way, is a skill you should be developing for your exams. But anyway, squeezing is systole, refilling is diastole, we check and we move on. We're going to do 6 questions. Which blood vessels are involved in the transportation of blood to and from the lungs? Was definitely that one, definitely that one. I misread my question. What a mistake. To and from the lungs. So pulmonary, not the aorta. Pulmonary there. So we've got pulmonary artery, pulmonary vein. Goodness me, make sure you read the questions, James. If I'd have made a single mistake, including adding aorta as an extra one, that question would be wrong and have to come back to it. Okay, here, I'm not going to even read the question, but you get the idea. It's a drag and drop. We move on. By the way, here, it will look like your answers have been switched. What's happened here is that the system is saying to you, you've got them, in this case, all wrong, but then it's repositioned the answers. So now vessel 1 should have been the pulmonary vein, just here, for example. We move on. And we've got another question here. I'm just going to choose true, and it was right. We move on. We do a little ordering question. I'm not even reading it. We move on, and at this point now they're all wrong. I made them all wrong. They've been moved into the correct order for me, and now I finish the quiz. A couple of things before I finish this off. You are, if like me you get 3 out of 6, you are ultimately going to restart this quiz because we need to do that better. But here, for example, we can look at the questions that we got wrong and that we got right. We can review everything we did, and it will present the answers for me as well. So it's a great opportunity to go back into your notes and reflect on what you've done. The other thing you can do is you can have a little look at the leaderboard and see who's been doing things recently. Now look, this is just, there's a lot of these quizzes being done today, for example. This is just showing you what other people have been doing. I'm really interested in maybe even you're watching this, Sophia. I'm really interested in Sophia here. Look, she had 5 goes at this and mastered it. That is great behaviour you want to see in our students. Likewise, Alex is very much on the path here. Look, 2 got 4 and needs to come back to it. We want to see that behaviour in students. If you don't master it first time, come back, and then of course we can restart and go back to the start there. That's what we want you to do with the quizzes. Enjoy, persevere, and aim for mastery. Thanks very much.